It is time for a Q&A. I ended up posting a picture to Instagram, this one right here, and I asked if any of you had any questions. Turns out some of you indeed do. Now real quick, I do want to make more Q&A type of videos in the future, so if you haven't already, definitely go ahead and follow me on both Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, as those are the most likely places and also the easiest ones for me to actually go ahead and ask if you have any questions. First question comes from Jacob, as well as a whole lot of others. He asks, what was your biggest challenge or limitation that you faced when you were trying to become a full-time streamer and YouTuber? And what advice would you give someone who is trying to become a full-time streamer or YouTuber? Alright, so first off, it never really was my intention initially to like get to the point to be able to make a living off of, you know, having other people watch my stuff. Thank you very much, by the way, for that. I just simply wanted to share videos and, you know, do some live streams with my friends. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I figured that would be a great way to go ahead and share that as well with others. Now, eventually, of course, things did take off, and of course, it did get to a point where I was able to start making a living out of this, and I would say the one, like, limiting factor that personally was really affecting me was time. I mean, it may sound really silly, right, but I remember getting up at, like, I don't know, I think it was like 5:30 or something in the morning, very often actually, before heading off to university, just to actually go ahead and edit videos that I made the night before, right, and I just simply didn't really have a whole lot of time available to me to actually go ahead and do all the live streaming that I wanted, as well as make the videos that I wanted. So for me, I just mostly ended up cutting out a lot of sleep, which wasn't particularly healthy. Don't know if that would be my advice, but for me, yeah, time was definitely something that I was lacking. My biggest advice though, for any one of you that is trying to like set up something on YouTube or Twitch, is consistency. Like, consistency is everything, okay? Like, I've seen many people that ask me similar questions and they get really excited initially, right? They start uploading a video a day, and then after the first 2 weeks pass, they sort of, you know, get a little bit demotivated, and, you know, a little while later, they haven't uploaded for a couple of days straight, and then afterwards, you don't hear from them anymore for like a month. And that is really the one thing that I would say is that you want to try and avoid at all costs. Like, if you first off get started, right, make all the videos that you can maybe, but don't upload them all at once. Just simply, you know, maybe make 1 or 2 a week and try and keep up that schedule and slowly increase it instead. It's much easier. I love the split content days, says Vintage Pink Teacup. Loco Versus has become some of my favorite content. Thank you very much. Will this be something you will do more often? Also, are you going to ever see how your daughter is doing in Stardew Valley? So if anyone wondering, I've been doing this like new Loco Versus series where I just play random games. And I've been mostly doing so on the live stream. So basically what I've been doing is, I may not upload all of them to YouTube, but basically how this goes is I play one game for the first couple of hours of the live stream, say like Starcraft 2 for 4 hours, and then afterwards I jump into a game of my choice that I haven't ever tried, but has like, you know, been a game that I've been wanting to try for a while. I've actually been giving, I've actually got like a list of games that I still want to go ahead and play as well. If you've got any recommendations, let me know down below. What was your question again? Alright, he asks, will this be something that you will do more often? Yeah, I am definitely gonna do this more often. As a matter of fact, like I said, the list that I currently have of games that I still need to play is probably got over like 30 titles right now, and I'm assuming that some of you will give me some good recommendations as well, and I'll just write those down, and whenever I have time and whenever I feel like it, I'll go ahead and play one of them. As far as my daughter goes in Stardew Valley, which, for anyone wondering, that's a game, okay? I don't actually have a daughter. I may actually pick that game back up at some point. I mean, Stardew Valley was one of my favorite titles. In particular, I think it was like a year ago, right? I made quite a lot of videos on that game, and actually a lot of you ended up enjoying that series as well. At some point, though, I just sort of felt like I finished pretty much everything that there was to do, but I know they introduced a whole lot of new content, so yeah, maybe? Eagle Demon asks, best place to start learning Zerg well. There's this one guy on YouTube, I can't come up with the name, it's like something like a Loco? Maybe something like that. I'll go ahead and post a subscribe link down below. I mean, cut me some slack, I gotta earn my subscribers one way or another. No, but seriously, if you want to improve in anything, be it StarCraft 2, be it anything else in life, you gotta actually, like, you know, do it. If you want to improve in Zerg, play the game. Oh, and I actually really love this question right here. Kiro Ace asks, if Blizzard makes Warcraft 4 and it becomes extremely popular, would you consider prioritizing it over StarCraft as your main RTS? That's an interesting question, right? So first off, do I think they're gonna be making Warcraft 4, or do I think they're gonna be making StarCraft 3? Because that's actually a pretty important thing to try and keep in mind, right? As it is right now, what I've been noticing over the last few years, at the very least for like Blizzard's games that they have introduced, they seem to sort of have like split up the different games into the different genres of games as well. So for example, Overwatch is their shooter, StarCraft 2 is their RTS, World of Warcraft is their, MMORPG, and then Warcraft is also their card game. Then we have the action RTS, or the action RPG rather, that is known as Diablo. And it seems like they've sort of like split up the different games into the different genres as well. So I don't know if it would be more likely to see StarCraft 3 or Warcraft 4, but regardless, one cool thing that actually happened recently, and this is like purely speculation, so please, try and keep that in mind. Dustin Browder, the lead designer of like pretty much all big RTS games that have ever existed, I mean, including StarCraft 2, he's also been the game director on Heroes of the Storm and a whole bunch of other stuff. He basically, left the position as game director in favor of someone else. And he hasn't left Blizzard Entertainment, right? Now, these are the top creators in the entire world. They are some of the very best, game directors you can find. So I'm sure that Blizzard isn't just allowing him to sit around and work on nothing, right? So basically, the top guy, I mean, let me look it up real quick. Alright, so here's what he's worked on. He's worked on Command & Conquer, Command & Conquer Red Alert, Command & Conquer Generals, The Lord of the Rings, The Battle for Middle-earth. Then he's also done StarCraft 2, Heroes of the Storm, and a whole bunch of other games. I'm sure they're not just letting him sit around and do nothing, right? So I'm thinking here that at the very least he's having some sort of lead position on an unassigned project from Blizzard. I have no idea if that is true. I don't know if that's accurate, but I'd like to fanboy a little bit because I'm a bit of a Blizzard fanboy. Anyway, would it be StarCraft 3 or Warcraft 4? I'm not entirely sure, but your question was, would I go ahead and play that and potentially have that be as my main game on the channel? I mean, sure, if it's a really good game, right, and it turns out to be a lot of fun. I mean, a lot of people always wonder whether or not, StarCraft 2 is dying, right? StarCraft 2 is a dead game. It's sort of like a meme that's going around on the internet for a while now. I feel like the only game that could potentially kill StarCraft 2, whatever that means, right? Basically bring the audience down to a point where there's not a whole lot of people watching anymore. I feel like the only game that could actually do that is another RTS from Blizzard themselves. I mean, that would basically cannibalize their own audience and, make that switch over to that new game, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. So, yeah, if that game turns out to be really good, I don't see why I wouldn't go ahead and play that, right? I mean, Warcraft 4, StarCraft 3, either of them sound amazing to me. Master Teddy asks, and this is going to be the last question for today, if you were a girl, what would you call yourself? I don't know what I would call myself. I don't know what my gaming nickname would be either, but I do apparently know what I would look like. One of you actually ended up photoshopping it, and I'm not entirely sure if I'm supposed to be appreciative or if oh man, it's just so wrong. Anyway, that is going to be it for now. Let me know if you have any games that you would love to watch me play in the comment section down below. And of course, like I said, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Links are in the description. If I'm gonna do any follow-up Q&As, which I most definitely will do, I'll definitely let you know on there. So if you have any questions, you can ask me. And on top of that, if you feel like being awesome, consider becoming a subscriber to the channel. Click the button down below so you can go ahead and actually get a notification as soon as I upload more videos. Other than that, I want to thank you for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, alright? And I'll see you in the next one.